This is Hey Beautiful, the podcast where we binge and recap every episode of How I Met Your Mother. No spoilers. So suit up, grab a sandwich, and settle in. Hey, Kate.
Hey, girl.
So good to see you.
So good to see you. Happy vacation.
Oh my God.
Ooh, your camera keeps glitching. Is your computer moving a lot?
I did just rearrange some of the windows.
I find that sometimes when I move the actual computer, the stupid webcam glitches.
Do I look okay though?
You look gorgina. Gorgeous.
Thanks.
It's not doing it now, so you're good.
Okay. Phew.
But anyway, happy vacation.
Thank you. Happy vacation. Well, just happy solstice.
Happy solstice, friend. Blessed be.
Yes.
Blessed be.
What'd you have for dinner?
I had Greek salad homemade. Because last night I made this. It was a TikTok meal, but it's this Greek woman that I follow, and she does all the classics. And it's a one pot thing that you put in the oven where you brown up chicken drumsticks, and then with all kinds of obviously herbs and spices like Greek shit like oregano and thyme and stuff. And then you put in potatoes, peppers and onions, and the chicken back in, and you put a little lemon juice on everything.
Yeah.
Cover it, put in the oven for an hour. It was those delicious lemony Greek potatoes with the chicken on it, the chicken grease.
That sounds so
fucking good. So we put the leftover chicken from that on a Greek salad tonight. How about you?
So the boys play hockey on Tuesday and they don't get home till about 7:45, 8. So it's this awkward thing where I make dinner for myself and I eat it by myself and whatever. It's fine. But what did I eat? That's what the question was. It was another HelloFresh meal, a lemony chicken. Italian chicken with lemony spaghetti.
Ooh.
We've had it a million times. It's just an easy one. It's chicken with Italian seasoning. And then that you will slice that and add to the pasta. The pasta has a really just simple sauce with some sour cream, pasta water, red chili flakes, butter, garlic.
Pasta
super
water,
simple,
magic. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
is
this
zucchini too.
Is this one that you got delivered, or is it a recipe that you're redoing?
No, it's just one we got delivered because especially, I think we're probably going to take a break for the summer just because we're so busy.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
And we'll that's when we'll start recreating. But fun fact was, took the pasta and was straining it and spilt boiling water all over my foot.
Oh, God.
And I couldn't do anything because I still had the pot of water.
Yep.
And so my foot's just burned now.
Are you okay? Did you put something on it?
I mean, I did, but it still hurts. It's just
hell.
What are you gonna do?
Dude, that sucks.
The top half of my if this is my foot, it's like this.
Oh, and it's the flip-flop zone.
It's right in the flip-flop zone.
Fuck. On solstice of all days.
I know.
Tragic.
Rude.
That's fucking tragic. So I added something on here because I know that you just got out of work for the summer and maybe you'll be catching up on stuff, but since this is a TV podcast, I'd just love to know if there's anything you're watching lately that's tickling your fancy.
I'm so happy that there is this question because I actually have an answer.
Yay!
Chris and I don't really watch a lot of TV, and we definitely don't watch TV in the summer. But for whatever reason, we tried a show, and it was on Apple TV, and we tried one episode, loved it.
Yeah.
And then Chris was like, all right, fine, we'll get Apple TV subscription. Now we're watching Ted Lasso, and it is the most charming, genuine show I've ever seen in my life. I am so fully obsessed.
I need to get Apple TV because my friend gave me her login, so shout out to Zoe.
Shout outs. Zoe doesn't come through. I got you.
No, she sent it to me twice back when I had COVID and couldn't do anything, and I thought I was going to be trapped in my room until I got better because at that point Liz didn't have it. She gave me her login so I could watch Severance with Adam Scott.
That's the one that drew us in. We watched the first episode
and I want to watch Loot with Maya Rudolph. She's basically like Melinda Gates, right?
I just saw
Bezos's wife, whatever her name is.
Yeah. I just saw a preview for it the other day, and I could not stop laughing. I love her.
Yeah,
especially
it looks so good.
This role. She's just so.
Yeah,
she's good.
I love her.
But yeah, Severance is awesome.
Okay, good.
But
Yeah,
we
I keep hearing
stopped
that.
and now just we're binging Ted Lasso because they're 30 minutes, they're so quick. Um,
I've heard very good things. I've heard very good things. I'm not like
I did
a huge Sudeikis fan, but
I was
I'll
super resistant to it.
yeah, same.
I think it's really well cast. I think it's well
Cool.
written. I find it charming and I like it. I liked it despite not wanting to. I was waiting
Hmm.
for I was like,
A
"We'll just
reason.
try one episode. Everyone keeps talking about it. We'll try one episode." And I was just like, 4 episodes later, we like had to pull ourselves away from the TV. It was
Okay,
just
cool.
charming.
I'll have to try that then.
Genuinely charming. Yeah.
All right,
Like,
you convinced
I don't
me.
wanna say like feel good because I'm not feel good, right?
Yeah.
It's just heartwarming.
Yeah.
I loved the first season, so we just
Cool.
finished season 1.
Awesome. I'll have to try.
Yeah,
Are there more seasons out now?
there's 2 seasons.
Okay.
Um, I thought there were more than that, so I was kind of disappointed, but because we
Mm,
flew through season 1, I would've probably not tried to slow it down because I wanna get back to Severance for sure, but definitely watch that.
cool. Great. I
I
will
love
do
it
that.
because it feels new. Severance feels new to me in the same way that Ted
Yeah.
Lasso does, I guess.
Yeah, Apple I mean, it sounds like Apple TV's got some good shit, so
Yeah.
I don't even have to bite the
Good
bullet. I have a free
ha
login. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Watching
You
season
watch
2 of Hacks.
Hacks?
I'm watching season 2, yep.
Fuck yeah. I was about to ask you. God, Meg Stalter steals every single scene she's in.
So good. So
That is a
good.
perfect show. I love that show so much. I'm so
Agreed.
glad you're watching it. And Gene
It's
Smart, just killing it. Killing it. I mean, they all are. It's a great show.
it really I love I told you I had to, like, stop watching that first, episode of season 2 because I was cringing so hard. I was just, like, dying
Oh,
for
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but so good.
Oh my god. Yeah, and it's it's a much more, like, heartfelt kind of, crescendo to the season, which is great, and I to me, it kind of felt like a bow on the whole thing and, like, the show could have ended, but they have a season 3. So I don't know where they're gonna go with that, but I'm excited because I
Really?
freaking love all them.
Did
Yeah.
all of season 2 come out?
Yes, all of season
Okay.
2 is out. Um, things
Did
that I'm
Kayla and Jimmy get
watching.
married?
See, I fucking said the same thing, but I no spoilers, but no. I guess that is a
Fuck,
spoiler.
but you're I love
It does seem like it's going there though, right?
it does. Damn it.
It does
When I
seem like
see
it's
them
going
together,
there.
it reminds me just of, like, Broad City antics, just like
Yes,
I
yes. Well, he was in Broad City, right?
yeah, yep, yep. And that's why, because I bring him there, and then with Kayla, what's her name? Megan?
Meg, yeah.
Meg, um, seeing seeing him rise at Broad City, and then just
Yes.
she's just
She's
in
incredible. I feel like she could be, like, in my family. She could be, like, a
oh,
cousin of mine. She's
fits
and
right in.
I mean, that's a huge compliment to myself, but just, like, she kind of I feel like she kinda looks like me a little bit. Or I look like her, however you wanna
I
say it.
see it, yeah.
Um, oh, yeah, I love her. I don't know how deep you are into the season, but there's one scene of the 2 of them in a boardroom that is, like, so fucking funny. But that's, like I think it's later in the season.
Okay.
So we'll chat about it.
Okay.
For me, I watched Hacks. I finished Gentleman Jack, which you also need to fucking watch.
I
Ha
was
have you
Chris
started?
started to watch some of it with me.
Yes.
Um, uh, I thank you for reminding me because I completely forgot that the
Yeah,
new
I know
season
there's
was
so
out.
much. It's the
I
golden age
know.
of television. It's the
I know,
golden age.
I'm happy. So I don't watch a ton of TV, but, like, there are shows that I love, and they're all, like, quality, and for whatever reason, they're all out with new seasons right now, or I
I
just discovered
know.
them.
It's amazing.
Mhm.
So yeah, Gentleman Jack, Hacks, Julia, which is about Julia Child. It's on HBO, and it's like it's a semi fictionalization of how her show on PBS got started in Boston, and it's really good. I thought it was more act like true to life than it is, so I've been like looking things up and poking holes and stuff, and like there's some
Mhm.
characters that aren't real and like there's some events that didn't happen, but it's still good. And the woman that plays Julia does a great job. So yeah, and it's all about cooking. And it got me to whip out my copy
You're
of
listening
Mastering the Art of French Cooking, and I, bookmarked a whole bunch of stuff. So I mean,
nice.
mission
There you go.
accomplished of
Yeah.
keeping Julia alive. And the other
Wait,
show,
she's dead? Just kidding.
Dude, I never know when celebrities are dead or alive,
I
so
have to regularly remind myself that Tom Petty is dead because remember he
I have
died and they announced it and then there was something like, "Actually, no, he didn't die yet," but then he did die, and I feel like there
yes,
was less of an
yes,
announcement for
yes.
that, so I have to remind myself all the time he did.
I have no idea. It's so bad. I don't think anybody actually died. It's weird. Um,
Mm.
the other show that I'm watching, if there are any sci-fi nerds out there or Trekkies, I'm watching The Orville, which is a new space exploration show. It's Seth MacFarlane's show. So I expected it to be like super campy, like kind of
Mhm.
like Space Forcey, but it's not. I mean, it's got laughs, but it's
What's it
also
called?
got like some serious stuff. The Orville, that's the
The
name of
Orb.
their ship. And I actually play poker with one of the actors. So,
Hmm.
um, Jay Lee,
Sounds good.
he's a cool dude and he's great. He's Lieutenant Lamar on the show. But it's great. I really loved it. I binged the whole thing when I heard season 3 was coming out. I was like, okay, now is actually the time to watch it so I can like talk to him about it. Um Season 3 is like a departure from the first 2 seasons. It's like a little more serious and dark, but I really still really like it. So if you like nerdy stuff, I think it's been a really good watch, and it's very much in the vein of Star Trek, where they're always like landing in a new place and
I love that.
figuring things out, and it's like there's a morality to it, and all that stuff. So, and there's like a lot of like diplomacy because it's like set in the future where like countries don't exist anymore, and it's more of like a globe, like a
Mm.
solar system union,
Mhm.
galactic union, and so there's like all this diplomacy involved of like trying to get uh new planets in the union, and like it's I really like it. I've really liked it. There's been some heat for season 3, but I enjoy it. Oh, and last but not least, very 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 important. So
Oh,
people mark your calendars. I know I
duh.
just saw it too. We are already at Subway Wars.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either. So Caitlin and I have decided to do a weeknight Subway Wars live watch that's open to everybody
Mhm.
because our weekends are jammed through like the rest of the summer.
Yep.
So mark your calendars now, save the date. Tuesday, June 28th. Tuesday, June 28th, 5 p.m. Eastern Time
Mhm.
on Cast. We are going to watch Subway Wars together. So I'm hopeful that you guys can watch. I am going to try to figure out a way to record it because one
Oh,
of our Patreon pals asked that, and it's a great idea.
that is a
So
great idea.
I'm going to figure that out. In the meantime, Cast, KAST, castapp.co. Go get signed up. Find us on Cast. It's the same name as Twitter and Instagram. Hey, beautiful pod. That way you'll be all signed up. I'll make sure I welcome you into the group and everything will be all set for next week.
Mhm.
Very, very excited.
Very exciting.
Yeah, I can't believe it's already time for that. I thought it was a little bit later, but I'm happy to do it because the summer is about to get absolutely bananas. Um,
It
so it'll be good to see you guys before that happens.
So stay tuned at the end for 6 legendary moments from listeners just like you. And now let's get into Unfinished. Okay. This episode is brought to you by our Patreon pals, especially our Almighty 5 members, Adam, Tish, and Johnny. Our Patreon family has 70 members and counting, and our sliding scale means no matter what you can afford, you can enjoy all of the perks we offer. That means early access to every episode we make, private live streams with us, and exclusive recaps of How I Met Your Mother. Exclusive recaps of How I Met Your Father, and more. And you can join for as little as $2 a month at patreon.com/heybeautifulpod. This is season 6, episode 3, episode titled Unfinished. It first aired on October 4th, 2010, and the writer was Jamie Ronheimer. Only one episode this season, and only one more actually for him in total.
Wow.
We'll see that last episode in season 7, and our director is, of course, our girl Pam Fryman. So our episode starts off with future Ted sharing that one of his goals as a professor is to give a lecture that will change somebody's life. And very lucky for him, he achieves that goal pretty early on in his teaching career, one day back in 2010. And so we see this lecture, and as he's begins to tell us about this La Sagrada Familia, which is a brown, pointy, weird, unfinished temple in Barcelona.
Barcelona. It's a cathedral, yeah.
Well, I saw right, but I went to the actual website. It kept saying it was a
A
temple.
temple.
Yes, that's
Interesting.
why I said it.
Barcelona.
Barcelona, but it was an unfinished structure, whatever you want to call it. It's a religious one for Sky Daddy, but it was unfinished because the architect died when he got run over by a bus. So one of the things Ted says in his monologue is that it would remain unfinished for forever and ever. That's actually not
Mhm.
accurate because it is still being worked on. Um,
But
so
I
one thing,
mean, who knows how long it'll take.
right? It's still at this point is unfinished.
Mhm.
But cathedrals take a very long time.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
Very long time. One thing I thought that was kind of interesting about this is that so the guy that was working on it, he started working on it in 1883.
This is Gaudi. He
Gaudi,
designed,
yeah.
like, a ton of stuff in Barcelona. Very
Um,
weird, cool architecture.
yeah. But he was working on a bunch of other stuff, and then in 1914, that's when he started to work on just this exclusively, and it was his only project. And then he died.
Hmm.
And then in the Spanish Civil War in 1936, the plans and photographs and plaster molds were destroyed. But this dude took over for him. Friend, I think his name was like Francisco or something. I don't know.
Sounds
He was
right.
able, yeah, sounds about right. He was able to reconstruct it based on some of the already published plans and photographs. So that's kind of cool. But anyway, so Ted's lecturing about this unfinished project, and he like slips his hand in his pocket and he pulls out this like little toy airplane. And he's like, hold on, classic HIMYM. We got to rewind. We
Mhm.
got to go back a few days because there's context that we're missing. And so we go back a few days to McLaren's, and everyone's sitting around the bar, listening to Barney as he like scopes out a group of women at the bar and like his plan of attack. But Ted has a burger coming, he's not like super into it. And Marshall's so hurt because like he's so ready and willing to be Barney's wingman. Like he just needs to like say
Yeah,
please,
he
and
just
he's
wants to be
there.
included.
He just wants to be included, but he's kind of fucked up every other, every other opportunity for Barney when he's been the wingman. And we get like this cute little like scene where Marshall introduced himself as Barney's wingman. It's just like totally blows up his spot. But Barney says he'd rather work alone, and off he goes. Meanwhile, Robin very casually mentions that as she's like flipping through these satellite channels, she just happens to find this Chicago news station. And who does
Sure,
she see?
Jan.
Yeah, sure. Like, do you even believe that? No.
No.
Yeah. But of course she comes across Dawn. And she said it was like kind of weird at first, but then she realized she moved on. And like we even get to see her sitting there and she says, finish with that. She clicks off the TV. Now,
With her
I don't know if
glass of milk.
the glass of milk. And like you see this pint glass of milk and it is bullshit. Like there's just no way it's happening. And even though Lily didn't have the benefit of seeing what we saw, she still knows that Robin is full of shit. And so we get that famous "Where's the poop" line, which I don't love it. I don't love
Yeah.
that line.
Yeah, I will say, this in general, I think this episode is a means to an end, and
Yeah.
that's great, but there are pieces of it that feel kind of clunky.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. It's like all the
Yeah.
elements should be working,
But they don't.
but they don't. They kind of don't. Like we get where we need to go, but in the middle, it gets kind of
I feel like we're
muddy.
missing
Like,
something.
yeah, like the plot gets kind of muddy because there's like a lot of back and forth on will he, won't he take the job. And then the Robin Lily storyline, just
Mhm. Mhm.
there's like it's like flat. Like there's something missing. Because maybe because her face that never looks like there's something wrong. I mean, I
Maybe.
think that's a piece of it because like when a dog looks guilty, they look fucking guilty, right?
Robin never looks guilty. She
Robin looks
literally looks like she's
very happy with herself, right?
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
maybe that's a piece of it, that you never see any kind of hesitation in Robin's face. But yeah, we'll talk about
Yeah.
the mechanics as we're going, but I agree that it's like so close to being there.
Yeah, but you quite missed it. But so anyway, so Lily knows she's hiding something, and Robin tries to deny it, but eventually comes clean. So we get another look back at what actually is really happening in this scene, and we see Robin, who's anything but chill. She's heckling the TV, um, and we get. I love the like finish with that as she like realizes the bottle of alcohol she's drinking straight from the bottle, and she just like tosses it behind her.
Yeah.
Um, but, she's upset. She's never got to have that final, like, fight with Don. He
Mhm.
accepted the job in Chicago, and that was that. And so she said that, yelling at the TV was really, like, cathartic for her. But again, Lily knows that she's full of shit, and so just, like, a little gentle prod is all Robin needs, and then we find out that maybe she did call him and left an indelicate voicemail, and in which she tells Don she's going to fly to Chicago and kill him and put his stupid face on a deep dish pizza and eat it. Maybe catch a Bears game, but mostly the killing and the eating.
Oh my god. Drunk Robin in this episode, I think, is the highlight.
I think, obviously she's the legendary moment,
I'm
but
gonna kill you. Just
this
straight up
just in,
me.
I loved
This
that one.
this just in is the best
She
line of the
looks
whole show.
almost like she's like pacing like a
Yeah,
caged animal as
yeah.
she's watching him like in some of the scenes. I love it. But Lily tries to help Robin by suggesting like, delete his number because just cut him out of your life, delete him, be
Mhm.
done with this, you know. And Robin pulls out her little like phone and deletes his number, or so we think.
Or does she? Or
Or
does
does
she?
she? um Barney comes back to the bar and Marshall teases him and he's like says something about him like flying solo, but is it that he, because he was on his own, he flew so low, he
That
crashed and
that
burned.
they shot him down.
Yeah, they shot him down. That's it. Thank you. I'm like, what was the joke? It was there. I forgot. But Barney's not concerned because he'll get the yes because he always gets the yes. And he lays out his plan. So first he made contact. Now he's in the ignoring phase. So put a pin in that, my friends. Comes back around. Um,
Mhm.
but he would much rather play these little mind games than just do the normal thing and like ask somebody out. And I will say, Lily says ask them out to dinner. And Barney makes a good point that dinner is intimate. I would much rather have a quick drink because like I don't want to get like tied to a
Yeah,
couple
there's like it's
hour.
very open-ended.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not
No,
great.
it's not great. It's not great. Um, so the next day, Ted is at work and gets a surprise visitor, and which he makes this comment about is, sleeping with one of his students, Rachel. Sure, she wears provocative sweaters, but she's 19, which means she's legal. So you just know. Like it's never mentioned again, but you just know what Barney's gonna do with
Right,
that
because he's like,
knowledge.
"And now I need a class roster. Thank you very much. It's time to
Exactly.
find Rachel."
Yes. Um, and so anyway, but so no, it's not that he's sleeping with one of his students yet. He has a present for Ted, and he pulls out like this like black tube with like the bow, and it's actually Ted's plans for the GNB headquarters in Manhattan, which was, originally scrapped, and but now the project is back on, and they're going to build his building. And then cue the credits, longest opener I can remember
Yeah, yep.
in a very long time. But
Yeah,
that's
that's and I mean, maybe that's a piece of it. Maybe it could have all just been, like, the Barney and Ted stuff, and then they moved
yeah.
the Robin and Lily thing to, like, scene 1. I don't know. It's just kinda drags.
It
I
could
don't
have
know
been
what
so
it
much
is.
faster, like, we didn't need Robin to keep calling Dawn, like, 8 times.
Right, and, like, after last episode being like, "Bang, bang, 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 bang," like, joke, 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 like, so high energy, and not much was happening, and it was, like, so
Mhm.
dynamic that this just feels like
It's like
kinda like pulling teeth.
it's clunky, like you said,
It's
just like,
clunky,
woo.
yeah. Um, but, okay, so the project's back on, and of course, this is the project that was it season 4 when it got shut down with the
I
Woo
think so.
girls? Yeah, so, there there has really not been much development for Ted since the start of season 5, like, at all. He hasn't
Mhm.
he hasn't had a real serious girlfriend since he got left at the altar 2 seasons ago, season 4, middle of season 4, not even the end of season 4. And he's been a professor and he's just sort of been happy with that. So this building thing, now that I'm a little bit older, I can obviously we've been breaking down every single episode of the show. I can see that the building thing is also a metaphor for his love life. So the building, getting back to building and becoming an architect again is sort of tied to his love life, right? Because
Mhm.
he gave up on both of those dreams around the same time. So a lot of the stuff that they're saying about getting back out there and stuff as you watch, it's all a metaphor also for his love life. So
Mhm.
this is the building that originally Barney got him kicked off the project in favor of Sven.
Mhm.
He like voted against him. And then he brought him on and then the whole
Oh.
thing got scrapped, which was so anticlimactic. But here
Mhm.
we are. It's back. Marshall wants him to build a hockey rink on the roof. You've got to shut those voices out. That was so
I
sweet.
love like, how fun though that your friend's designing, like, your building.
Incredible. Um, Ted wants to say no because it's GMB and they're such a scumbag company that did him so
So
dirty.
dirty, yeah.
So dirty. Remember the firing room and all of that. But it would still mean putting his mark on the New York skyline at last. So it's like there's
It's
this big
huge.
risk, right? There's like a
Mhm.
risk, but is the reward there? It's the same thing with putting your heart and soul out there, right? It's a risk, but
Mhm.
the reward seems pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Um, and he's decided that it's, he's had this dream for so long that he doesn't want to go back to it, but it's clearly still gnawing at him. So my question was, what is something that you have left behind or unfinished that still gnaws at you? Do you have anything in mind?
My whole phase.
Your hoe phase.
Yeah.
You
As a
miss
teen
it.
mom, yeah.
Wasn't long enough.
No.
Something tells me you're going to get back in the saddle with that.
Oh, girl, one can hope.
One can hope. Summer's
Um,
here.
that's right. I know I was trying to think of, like, because I don't know, because I wanted to be a speech therapist when I was 16.
Nailed
I'm a
it.
speech therapist.
So you're basically Maggie. You did everything you said you were going to do.
Yeah, it's kind of boring. Yeah.
Uh,
How about you?
um, well, the one I originally think of is that when I was in high school, I wanted to go into acting and like be a public figure, which, ended up happening without doing that. And I
Yeah,
didn't do
I
it
was gonna
because a lot of
say.
people told me I couldn't and shouldn't. It wasn't even like an internal thing, but the latest one, I think it's like the opposite of Ted, where for so long I wanted to be in academia, like I wanted to teach
Mhm.
writing, creative writing and stuff like that at the college level, and like Ted, or like the goat with the fucking rag, like it just kept beating my ass. Like there was no way to do it
Mhm.
well, and get paid for it. So I had to leave that one behind. But if I like sold a book and it came around again that I could be a professor, I think that would be hard to turn down for
Yeah.
sure. But the money would probably make me say, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Ugh.
Um, so yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars stuff about the architecture of the Death Star. Fart, fart, fart. I'm sure you loved that. And then we cut to
I
Ted
didn't
at
even bother
Barney's.
putting it in my notes because I knew we would just gloss right over
Well, I
it.
mean, it's funny. I'm sure it's fine. It's great. I
Sounds
mean, people who love Star Wars, awesome. Um,
With the new movies, though, there's, like, new information about
oh, does it make this completely, does it
sort
debunk
of,
this?
sort of, yeah. Like, it
Like
was
the spot on the Death Star isn't there anymore?
no, it is, but it's, like, purposeful, so it could be destroyed, you know? At least I oh god,
Oh.
now I'm, like, panicking that I'm, like, remembering that
It's the false
incorrectly.
that was it the contractor or was it the architect? We'll never know. So then we cut to Ted at Barney's office. What the fuck is this vest? What is this vest? He mentions it later and he's like, "Oh, I'm glad Barney noticed." And it's like,
It's so bad.
did we have to make it this ugly? Because
Why not a sweater vest?
right, and I thought when Barney started negging him that
That
was
was
gonna be the target.
not the hair.
Not the hair. The hair is finally really working.
I know.
The
That
vest doesn't even
vest.
go with the shirt's, like, baggy underneath it.
And, like, the vest seemed a little short or I don't know, the length was
It was
added
short, maybe?
because I remember
It
seeing,
was
like, the
too
shirt.
long and also too short. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Perfect, said
And then
you
with
said
the
you said it
jeans,
perfectly.
like, the whole thing, it's just bad. It's just bad. We spend a lot of time talking about the women's fashion on here today. We have
And
to give Ted just, like, 2 thumbs down on that vest, so
not
yikes. I know it was a
good.
prop point, but I feel like
We could anything
we coulda done
else.
Teddy Westside a little less dirty
Yes.
with the vest.
Yes.
Um, okay, so yeah, he's at the office and he turns down the job and Barney acts like he's totally cool, but it of course turns out this is just like Barney getting shot down at the bar. So it's lots of parallels in this episode, and maybe that's another reason why it's clunky. Like they're trying
Mhm.
too hard to like connect the storylines, and like the themes are really heavy. Like the
Yeah.
themes of like Barney is treating Ted just like he treats these girls, and Robin is feeling like things are unfinished with her, just like Ted feels like things are unfinished with his arc.
He's
And they
gonna
don't
run out of his lecture.
yeah, they don't do that. They don't force it like that very often, and they don't usually feel the need to make like the B plot like a metaphor for the A plot or whatever. So
Yeah.
I think it's a little heavy-handed.
Is
Maybe
this Jamie's
that's
style? Let's see what else did
what else
Jamie
has
write.
he done? What else has he done to us?
Jamie. Jamie wrote Aldred Justice,
He did. See?
Lucky Penny, Yips, Rebound Bro, Happily Ever After, Old Cling Clancy, Slaps Giving 2,
Mm,
Revenge of the Slap,
it's a good
Robot
one.
versus Wrestlers.
Okay, so he wrote some good ones, but there are
And
some
some
clunkers in there.
some clunkers, yeah. Aldred
Like
Justice.
even what was like the second or third one you said?
Lucky Penny, The Yips,
Lucky
Rebound.
Penny's a little Lucky
Yeah.
Penny is one where, like, the timeline is really confusing
Yeah.
because it's like, "Wait, was Lily back already?" I remember us having, like, this discussion about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
wedding dress and, like, when that would have happened, so, like, there's some maybe not the most complicated episode should be written by him with Peace and Love. So he
Peace
didn't do
and
Columns, but
love.
he did Aldrin Justice, which is another hard one to watch.
Yeah, I hate not a fan. And then the last one is going to be Field Trip.
Oh, I don't really like that one
No,
at all, so that's
no.
fine. Okay, well,
Alright.
there it is.
Thanks,
We're
Jamie, for your work.
and that's that's almost a series wrap on Jamie, guys. We'll see you later this season. But yeah, so Barney's, basically turned Ted into one of the girls he goes after, and he's sliding into the ignoring phase now that he's
Mhm.
rejected the girl. I
Yep.
mean Ted.
Back at the apartment, Lily smells poop down the hallway, knows Robin's up to no good, even though she deleted Dawn Summer. But turns out when Robin's phone asked for confirmation, she couldn't lie to her phone because she really wasn't sure. So she did not delete Dawn's contact.
Mhm.
And so we get another clip of her calling Dawn and leaving an indelicate voicemail. And this is where we get the "this just in is what I'm going to say when I'm stabbing you." Like, that is a great line right there. I mean, that's just perfect.
Maybe definitely the best in this episode for sure.
Agreed. But Robin points out that it's not just easy because it's really not just a number. It's a part of your life, and you have to admit that, like, once you delete that number, like, that's it. Like, that part of you is gone forever.
Mm.
And so she grabs Lily's phone and finds a random phone number, and says that she has to delete it. And it ends up being Super Kicks Karate, but immediately Lily's like, "No, that's my
My
dojo,"
dojo.
which is the most ridiculous thing
Oh my
ever.
god.
So Lily had taken a free karate class, and there was this three-peat kindergartner there who basically, like, beats Lily up and, like, stands on her neck and does the "what's up,"
So
which
funny.
is around 2006. I did some Googling. But
We were
Lily's
in
like,
college for that?
I feel like that
That doesn't
maybe
seem right.
no, it doesn't. Maybe that was when there was, like, a rebound of it? Or maybe that's when it was
Maybe
posted on YouTube. I don't know. It was a Google alert.
Budweiser was,
Probably it was, like, 92.
let's see, 99 to 2002. I maybe in '06 well, then they're like it was in, like, the Scary Movie franchise, right?
Yeah, so maybe
Maybe
that's
that's what
what.
it who
Mm.
fucking knows?
Alright, I'm gold. So, but Lily realizes that dream is never gonna become a reality, and so she deletes the phone number. And so Kate,
Ooh, here we go. Yeah.
yeah, I have on my phone something I use all the time at work. Wheel of names. I put in a letter for each one of the alphabet.
Wheel of names, you said?
.com. And so I'm recording on my phone so you can overlay it with the video if you'd like.
Beautiful. Alright, let me
And
open my contacts. I already know what we're doing today.
okay. So I'm gonna find a letter for you.
Basically, what she's gonna give me a random letter, and I have to delete a random person from my phone.
All right, I'm doing a spin for me.
Okay.
Let's see. Ooh, S.
Who's an N that I don't talk to anymore?
All right, let's see.
I mean, I have one N blocked on every fucking platform you can imagine.
Let's see.
I'm trying to see in my, like, because
Oh, okay. I got one.
who
But
is
I
it?
immediately was like, no, I can't.
My dojo. Who is
Ready?
it?
I've got four immediately right off the top of my head. Ready? First one I saw because of like um alphabetical order. Safe Kids, the people that installed my son's car seat. He's 17 and drives
Oh my
himself. I
god!
delete that one.
It's
How
time.
about Saks Pizza, a pizza place from a town where I don't live anymore? That was one. The Southern Connecticut State University shuttle.
Oh my god! It has to
Don't need
go.
that one.
It was N.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a woman who used to work for me when I worked at the French school, Nadia. I can get rid of her.
Okay. I'm going to do a screen recording of me deleting the Southern Connecticut State University shuttle phone number.
Hang on, while I'm here, should I also delete 2 girls in my phone who I met on OkCupid before I met Liz?
I
And
guess I
not
just deleted the
accidentally
shuttle. I'm never going to go back to school. I'm never going to need to use the
how do
shuttle
I
again.
I'm terrified that I'm gonna accidentally click on one of these people and call them. OkCupid
You won't.
Courtney, I have no idea who you are. I'm going to delete you. How do I delete contact?
Tap in the name.
I got it. I'm just terrified to tap it and then it'll,
I
like,
know.
call them.
I know.
Okay. Ok
Did you
OkCupid
call?
Heather. Who the fuck was that? I literally do not know who either of these women are. I'm so sorry. Such a slut.
This is so fun.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is a super fun game. Highly recommend it. It is pretty wild. How
Do
many
it today, my
people
friends.
do another spin. Do another
I'll
spin.
do another
I
spin.
wanna do another
All right, let's
purge.
see. Ooh, let's
Yeah.
do HBFAM. You have to delete one from each.
Ooh, should we do that right now?
Sure.
All right,
You got
H.
N again. So we're gonna do so we're not gonna do that. Okay, let's see if an H.
Who the fuck is Hunter? I think Hunter is a guy I met at a gay bar one time, so I can delete him. He turned out to be like a log cabin Republican.
Helen.
Delete.
What the fuck is that?
Who do you have for H?
God, who don't I have? Hot Coach Rob. Remember
Hot
him?
Coach Rob. Yeah,
Yeah,
delete.
delete. All right.
HB, right, is the next one? Oh, shit.
Yep.
Okay, B is the next one.
Hmm. Oh, my favorite Thai restaurant. They're closed. They've been closed. I feel like I can't delete it though.
Brittany, goodbye.
Definitely.
Delete. Wow, I didn't even know she was still in here. Okay, HB.
Blockbuster. Should I delete Blockbuster?
You can't.
I can't. I can't
Anything
admit
but Blockbuster.
Bob's stores.
Absolutely delete Bob's stores.
All right, deleted. All right,
Okay,
F.
F. I
Oh,
have a
P.
lot. Oh,
I
I
put
don't
some
wanna
barbecue place. I don't even remember.
I'll delete this guy because he was from a lot of them start are the F that starts with the school I worked at.
Mm.
So I have a lot of them. This guy was a fucking gossipy piece of shit, so I'm gonna get rid of him. Delete. F. All right. What are you doing for F?
The local duck pin bowling place that is closed and has been mowed over. That was real sad.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Didn't someone murdered in that parking lot?
Yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
right. Okay,
Alright, A.
Oh god, alright.
Hmm.
Who do I have on here?
A.
Who the fuck is Glenn somebody? I don't know who that is. Yeah, I'll get rid of this person because I literally don't know who they are.
Okay. Hmm.
Delete. Who do you got?
I don't even know who is I know who that is. Someone I work with.
I'm moving on to M.
You are? Okay. Um,
Oh, there's some good ones here.
Girl I went to grad school with.
Bye. If someone's dead, should I get rid of them? I have a dead
Oh,
person
I
in my
feel like
M's.
I almost feel like that's rude, but maybe it's not.
Oh, Nick. Oh, I'll get rid of this fucking guy. I hate this guy. Delete. Delete.
Oh, there we go. I'll delete that
Wow, I
one.
feel so much lighter.
Right?
God, I could just sit here and do that whole thing. I mean, it's not like I've kept any of these on purpose. It's just so easy to just let them pile
I
up
have
now.
the local mall
Oh,
at
get
the
rid
mall.
of
That's
it.
deleted. All right. Good for us.
Good for us. This whole like delete people from your phone thing is kind of a recycling of the delete stuff from your resume.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's a bunch of things that feel a little off about this episode, and that is a
Ugh,
piece of it
I
for
totally
me.
forgot about that.
It's kind of the same thing of, oh, well, if you delete it from your phone, that means
You've
you're not
erased that
that
part of
person
your
anymore. And I'm
mhm.
just, and I mean, Marshall even has the same thing of like, then I'm just a corporate stooge. And it's like, is he gonna go try and shoot a what the fuck do you
To
call that?
dunk.
Is he just gonna go try and dunk in the GMB parking lot again? Like, it's kind of recycled, which is a bummer, but that's
Yeah, that
fine.
is a bummer. Yeah. Alright, well
Okay.
so then Ted comes in with this, like, newfound understanding of what it's like to be a woman because Barney's putting the moves on him.
Robin's line, did you write it down?
I don't
Go
care how
ahead.
big it is, it's not the same as giving birth.
He's clearly said that to somebody before, probably while they were dating.
Oh, for sure, I know, I love the just, like, Robin knew exactly what he was gonna say, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Love it. So we find out that he's putting the moves on Ted, and so Robin, and everyone like very familiar with Barney and his plays, like, oh, has he bragged on himself in the form of like a complaint? And I love he's like, when women see the GNB logo on my business card, they throw themselves at me. I miss the chase. My favorite though, he's like, the benefits package is so comprehensive. I could choose any doctor I want. It sucks. He makes this creepy eye contact. He establishes intimacy through physical contact. But at no point did Ted ever really turn him down because he's really enjoying this attention, like with that fucking ugly ass vest that he's got.
Right.
But I love Robin says, like, "Ooh, you're gonna spread your legs and design that building."
Yeah.
It's so good. So Ted walks out of the room, and then as soon as that happens, Lily spills to Marshall that Robin still hasn't deleted Dom's phone number yet. And so Robin kind of pulls the same move. Is like, all right, well, if it's so easy, like, give me your phone. I'll find someone to delete. And Marshall's pretty confident, except she pulls up Edwin. And how could you delete Edwin? That's the bookie of the club where Marshall and his law school funk band play
Love it.
once. They played one gig 4 years ago and never again. Um, and then we get, the little clip of Marshall, and it was just Robin and Ted in the audience. Of course, Barney's nowhere to be found.
And Lily. Lily was there
Oh, I thought
jamming.
I said Lily. And Lily's got the hat on. She's just like living her best life, fully supporting her man.
Yep.
And
Marshall and the Dr. Seuss hat.
it's so good. It's so good.
An excellent callback. I was like scanning. I was like, are Carter and Craig in there? Because, the solids,
I
but
know.
I didn't see them.
No, I didn't either. But eventually, or not even eventually, but Marshall allows Robin to delete it because if she has to delete it, then he's got to do this hard thing too. And so there you have it.
Maybe that's what the problem is. Maybe the issue with this episode is that the metaphor doesn't work because it's part of it is telling us that you're supposed to let things go that are behind you,
Hmm.
but then Ted does the complete opposite. And that's like the point. So his unfinished stuff, he's supposed to go and get it. But
But Robin's supposed to let
Lily
it
and
go.
Marshall and Robin are just supposed to let it go, forget about it, and move
Mm.
forward. Like maybe
Alright.
that's another piece of it. Like they're trying really hard for the metaphor and it's not working because they don't all end up doing
Yeah.
the same thing. And it doesn't feel like that was intentional.
Yeah.
They
I'm
don't
gonna
really
pause
tease that
it.
he's gonna, buck the norms or whatever it is.
Those are all really good points about why it feels a little
Yeah,
clunky.
it just feels strange.
Yeah.
So then we have Barney. Oh, I said Barney wooing Ted is also like Jeff Coatsworth wooing Marshall. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
like because it's the
Yeah.
same like they do the same dating metaphor with that too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's just a lot of unfresh stuff happening in this
Tired.
episode. Yeah.
Tired.
Um but Barney got Ted this little airplane for the
I
spirit of
also think it's
adventure.
hard too, especially with, like, cleaning house and then Subway Wars too, like, this episode stinks. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's like a filler queen,
Necessary, but it's fine. It's fine,
filler
yeah.
queen episode. Okay, so Barney got Ted a little airplane, and it's like the spirit of adventure, and this is the first time we see it since the first scene,
Mhm.
so we know we're getting closer because we've
Yep.
also kind of forgotten that we're in a flashback, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a little disorienting at the end. But now he has the plane, and Ted has gone to turn him down again, and he has found out that they've hired someone else.
Mhm.
Um, but Ted like doesn't buy it. He thinks he's bluffing. But
It's another
Marshall's like,
lead, a
no.
move.
Yeah, he thinks it's another move, but he's like, no, I did the paperwork. Good lying, Marshall. I was very, very impressed
I
with
was
him.
like, "Ooh."
That took every cell in his body to
But
do.
I think it's because, like, as, the episodes progress a little bit further, like, it's because Marshall knows his best friend, he knows that this is
Yes.
really what he wants, and he knows
Yes.
he'll regret it if he lets it pass him by, so Marshall's willing to do those things for
Much
him.
like this episode, it's a means to an end, right?
Yes. Yes.
So now Ted
Yes.
regrets it because if Marshall would never lie to him, and he gets desperate, like we assume a woman would in this position with Barney, and says like, "I'll do it for half, and I'll do stuff they wouldn't do, lobby
Talk lobby
stuff."
stuff. I'm like, "Oh, lobby stuff, Ted.
we know love.
Sounds
We know
so
Ted loves an atrium.
sexy."
But then just as Ted is about to agree to do it for half, Marshall comes clean and says it was a move and that Barney talked him into it because he said he could be his wingman. So Barney's just wooing everyone all over the
Mhm.
place. Um, Ted is outraged and he recommits to not wanting to build the building. And this is where it's like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He's quitting twice at the office. And now this is a third time that he's committing, like he's
Mhm.
quitting. It's just
Mhm.
like it's a lot, right? Like because he turned him down to start, then he turns him
Yep.
out again when he gets the airplane, and then he goes to accept it. It's just too many backs and forths. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
it is.
Marshall has, a great best friend moment as he is wont to do and says, "You do want it, but you're scared of getting hurt again." Hello, romantic relationships, same thing. But Ted is now resolute again. And I just don't buy it because it's just too many backs and forth. Letting go of that dream was the best decision I ever made. I love being a professor. And as we
Blech.
know, today in modern times, and this could have been the case back then, there's absolutely time for a professor to have classes and also help design a
Right.
building.
It's not.
Right. So again, it's just like a suspension of disbelief thing, like, Robin with the citizenship test and all that. But uh it doesn't have to be an either or, but here it is.
Mhm.
So yeah, I said here, like the whole thing is a metaphor for the fact that Ted hasn't really tried for something real in a long time. No one's serious since Stella in season 4. He's gotten comfortable alone and also lost the calluses of trying. Like he's just
Oh.
he's just like thin skinned now, and he doesn't have that Ted
Mhm.
Mosby energy we're so used to.
Yeah.
So what's he gonna do?
We'll have to see, I guess.
We'll have to see.
Um, at the bar, Robin walks in and immediately this poop sniffing dog knows she's lying. And it turns out that even though Dawn's number is deleted from her phone, he's not deleted from her brain. And Robin realizes that, she's never going to have that closure. It doesn't matter if she deleted his number or not. It just won't exist for them because things just ended. Which is so sad. And no matter how much she wants it, no matter what she tries, it's never going to happen. There'll always be a loose end and they will always be unfinished. And that's just it. And then we kind of circle back to the beginning of the episode. And as you said, like, you forget you're in a flashback. And Ted's giving his lecture about the unfinished business and how it's not always a bus that hits you that prevents you from realizing your dreams. Sometimes it's too expensive, it's too difficult, it's too scary. And it's only when you stop that you realize how hard it is to start again. And so you force yourself to pretend you don't want it. But
Metaphor
until
for
you
love again.
Yep, metaphor for love. But until you finish it, it's always, and then like Ted runs out very like dramatically, almost gets hit by the bus, finds his way to GMB, and the music swells, and it's like, this big moment. But he doesn't give Barney his yes right away. He makes Barney work for it and makes him take him out to dinner and schmooze a little bit, and he finally gives Barney the yes. Duh.
Yeah.
And then we cut over to Robin quickly, who comes across Don on the news, and she tries to call him, but realizes that she's gotten the phone number wrong. And so without even trying to, she has started to move on and move away from that. And she does that, finally a genuine finished with that.
And that does happen. Like back
Yeah.
back in the early days of smartphones, when you've, deleted your contact, but you still remember their number. Eventually, after a few months, you start to not be sure if you're going to get it right. If you were
Yeah.
someone who, drunk dialed people, which is definitely was something I did. And I was going to say that in the case of Robin, she can't really do anything about it, right? Like her stuff is going to stay unfinished because that's just the nature of things, right? But with
Mhm.
Ted, if this dream stays unfinished, he is the only person at this point that will be stopping it. Like it's not that the project's been canceled. It's not that someone else took it away from him. Um he is literally the only one standing in his way. So
Right.
I'm glad that he figured that out and he's gonna fix that. So then after the cut, we see Lily going back to the dojo, you know, in present day. And so just like Ted, she's not going to leave this unfinished. She's not leave her unfinished business is not karate. It is beating this kid's ass who stepped on her. And I love when she says, "The next time you step or if you step on a kindergarten teacher's neck, you better finish the job." And she's just been waiting for this kid to be old enough. And thank God he still goes to the same dojo.
Whew.
And then they cut to black right as they're about to hit each other, which is like so 80s.
It's so good though. It made me
So
laugh.
80s, like who won? We'll never know. That's not what's important. So
It's so good.
overall, what'd you think, Caitlin? I know we've talked about it, but
Well, it's done now.
hey, guess what isn't unfinished? This
This
episode.
episode. But that's a good one. Yeah, like you said, like it moves us along, moves us forward. We know, now we see Robin's over Ted, or Robin's over Dawn. Ted's gonna build this building. Great.
This might be a big no, it's not the real reason, the full reason, but this might be the clunkiness of this of Ted getting to design a building in New York again might be a huge reason why I hate his next love interest. There are a lot of reasons, but that's a piece of it. And it kind of feels like the show went in a direction that they didn't want it to go, or like they made a mistake making him a professor
Mm,
that soon or something, because guess what? We're doing your building again. Like overnight, all in one episode, this happens. Like it just it feels it feels strange. It feels out of
yeah.
place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know
Like,
what it I don't know if it just feels like they're trying to backtrack on a plot
Because Ted
point.
wasn't like unhappy being a professor, like,
And
and
it's like normal for something to come up. It's just the way that it did. It's just strange.
yeah, it's just
I don't know. I don't know. There's
mm,
something there are some things that are just not
I'm
gelling. It's the
yeah.
energy isn't there. Like it's just like it just feels like we're doing a bit of a slog. There's like we said, there's a lot of like reused devices here and
Mhm.
storylines, and I don't know. And it feels like a step backward for Ted, even though it could be a step forward. Like I don't know. I don't know. Did it have to be GNB? I guess it had to be GNB that wanted him to design. But
'Cause it was just easy to do that because we already had the design, we've already seen him hemmed and hawed over it and, like, that whole thing, but
right, and that's the thing. Like they're like cutting out all of that extra stuff, and I get it, but
yeah.
I wonder what prompted this because it doesn't feel organic.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't feel organic.
No.
So there's
And I'm
that.
glad we're gonna get to the next. No spoilers, but I'm glad we're gonna get to the next love interest so we can get past the next love interest.
And their stupid hats. We won't talk about it. That's fine. All right. Let's get into
Oh,
legendary
I really
moments.
don't like her.
I know, bitch. Same. The blonde plague continues for Ted.
Even like I also just don't love that actress either, even in other things.
No, no.
Like someone's paid you money. I'm sorry. All right. Let's
And
get
that's what
in.
you give us?
I'm like, really? I'm like, anyone could be a fucking actor. Give me like a blonde wig with like
Yeah,
somewhere like a loose
bitch.
curls. I'm like, oh, I could do like just
Yeah. And a hat
talentless.
and a beret. Ugh.
Blech.
Anyway, we'll
Anyway,
save that for the episode that deserves it.
that's true. Yes, that's right. A couple more. So now's the time we're going to get into our legendary moments from fans. Remember, patrons get theirs read in the entirety, and y'all like to hold us do that.
Mhm.
First up is Helena. Helena writes, "Hey K and K, this is a good episode for establishing more of the season's plot, but it's not one of my favorites. I think my legendary moment is Marshall's awkward. I keep my phone tight. I quote that all the time. I also love the little scene of his funk band and bonus ledge mode of Ted designing the building. So exciting for him. Side note, and I don't think I remembered it last time, but I hate Robin's hair this season. It's okay in this episode, but as a whole, I don't like it. I
Hmm.
could write a thesis about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just projecting because that's what my natural hair looks like, and I hate it, but I stand by it. Sorry for
Interesting.
such a long email. I'll catch you guys next time. Helena.
I think on the spectrum of Robin hair, this is like inoffensive. I think I like the hair, but it's not my favorite of
Yeah,
hers,
I
but it's
loved her hair last episode too,
definitely
especially.
not season 1 hair.
Ooh. Or when she has the curls with Gael, male
That's the
Gael.
best hair. That's the best hair. Do you hate that hair?
No, I don't hate it.
Oh,
And so it's a spectrum of it.
I love the
It's not
Gael hair.
it's not it's not the best, it's not the worst.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Totes.
So
All right, so next up is Chris C. And Chris says, "Hi, ladies. This is a decent episode that brings in one of my favorite characters of the show, insanely angry Robin. So my legendary moment has to be one of her lines. This just in is what I'm going to say when I'm stabbing you." Good one,
that is
Chris.
such a good line. Next is Abner. Abner says, "Hey K and K, my legend for this awesome episode is Barney putting the moves on Ted. It's creative, unexpected, hilarious, and simply cracks me up every single time. Generally, I think this episode is quite clever and rich with life lessons, which I enjoy immensely. Have a nice week, Abner." Thanks, Abner.
Okay, next up is Adam. And Adam says, "This episode is a heartstring puller. Has anyone ever had unfinished business with anyone? I have. I knew a girl who I thought was perfect for me. Cubs fan, Lego, comics, the works. She was amazing and blonde, which for me is my Achilles heel. You and Ted both.
I guess so, yeah.
Every time she and I were single, we could never find the right time or place, so we were always unfinished. Ugh. What if per se? I don't know what that means. I feel for Robin in this, in that she never got closure, just like me, just hanging out there, not knowing what could have been. It wasn't until years later when I met my wife that I got mine, that my wife was my perfect match. I think my legendary moment is definitely the "Where's the poop" from Lily. I use it all the time on my wife, and she is like, "How do you do that?" Because I always know. Hope you both are well and liked my review on Apple Podcasts of the show. Thank you. Stay safe, my friends. Adam, when did you leave one?
I don't
I
know.
just looked today. Thank you, Adam. We'll go check it
Thanks,
out.
Adam. Yeah.
I will say that that's so true that you think that you have to like keep trying to make it work with the person who like it works the
Yeah.
best with, even
Yeah.
though it's like terrible and hard. And then you meet your person or your people and you're like, oh, this is fucking
Again,
easy.
again, sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers.
Rotten
Stab
hell.
you with a fork.
Stab you with a fork. But it's so
Oh,
true. It's so true. Like I saw
no,
on
yeah.
Twitter where it was like, marriage should be work the way going to the beach is work. Where it's
Yes.
like, it takes effort to get all the shit together and you have to coordinate and drag everything down the sand. But once you're there, it's a really good time. And it's not
Mm-hmm.
work that you mind doing. Like
No, you're
it's
happy to
not
do it.
a relationship taking work is not fighting constantly and breaking up and getting
No.
back together and crying all the time.
Oh God, that's
So that's not
toxic.
the work, children.
Draining.
That's not the
No,
work.
no, no. No. Next is Tish. Tish writes, "Hey, beautiful ladies. I'm sorry both of you got taken down by COVID. I'm hoping you both feel a lot better and neither of you
Yes.
experience any long COVID symptoms. My legendary moment has to go to the line, where's the poop? Something about, something about that, something about the fact that Barney is so proud to always get the yes doesn't necessarily sit right with me. I'm hoping all of them came with consent. Regards, Tish. How about it?
We have to imagine. But I mean, he definitely was lying to people a lot. So, like, how informed was that consent, really? Right. Okay. And last but not least is Rebecca. Rebecca says, legendary moment, 4 words. Where's the poop, Robin? Also, Robin realizing she dialed the wrong number. And so she can move on from Dawn was good too. Rebecca from the UK. Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca. Kate, what's your legendary moment?
Um,
The
probably
end credits.
probably Robin, like her drunk
Yeah,
voicemails, specifically the "This Just
it's
In"
just
one was
in.
so
Same,
good. Yeah,
same,
so
same,
good.
same, same. I love watching her pace as she's like on the phone.
She had some great zingers. They've been giving
Mm-hmm.
her a lot of good lines. What about
Yeah,
you?
she's so funny. Same. It's the same one. I
Same
love
one.
this. Just in is what I'm saying. What's
So
happening?
good,
The
so
drunk voicemails. All that. So good. All right. So thank you for listening.
good.
We will see you next time for Subway Wars. Remember, it's a live watch, June 28th, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And make sure to send us your legendary moments for Subway Wars. Send them to heybeautifulpodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to put in the subject line the name of the episode so we don't miss it. And if you love this recap, be sure to leave us an Apple Podcast review like Adam did. And be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Stitcher so you never miss a recap. We hope you'll come back next episode.
Because it's going to be legend. Wait for it.
This has been Hey Beautiful with your hosts, Kate Gordon and Caitlin Turner. Our intro-outro music is by Owl All.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.